transform your paragliding videos from this to this. Goodbye, shaky footage. Alright, let's do this. So, shaky footage, every 2 seconds there's this shaky movement, and there's reason why this happens so often. Wait! Alright, so let's talk about problems and solutions. Now, first thing is choosing your chase cam. There's a lot of brands, a lot of different types of chase cams, follow cams on the market. It's completely up to you. One thing I'm gonna suggest here is to try it on your own, so you'll see what works the best for your needs. For me, it's this Skybeam chase cam. Why I like it? Because there's this foldable design with just few spins like that. Bam, you have your chase cam ready, and because of that foldable design, it's super cool for carrying around. However, you will always find bigger and smaller models, and one thing that's important here, at least what I do, if I'm gonna fly with smaller, faster wings, I'm gonna go with this smaller design, this short tail. And if I fly with big, slow wings, then I prefer this long tail. Why? Because this long tail will create that extra drag, extra float with your lower flying speed, so this chase cam will fly higher behind you, and so you will capture all that landscape, you wing everything perfectly in the frame. Because if you fly with this short tail and you don't have enough speed, this chase cam will simply fly very low, and so you can't get all the wing and everything nicely in the frame. So that's something to consider when you're picking your chase cam. Okay, so the biggest problem why your footage is not stable and it's all shaky is because your line length is wrong. You know, your whole setup is not adjusted, tuned correctly. And right now I'm gonna show you how I do it, so you know, I get as stable footage as possible. Chase cam, stay there. So what I do is, first I'll make sure my wing is nice and ready. Bam, just like that, and create that wall. That's it. Lines down, make sure all of these lines are on each side. There's nothing, you know, has to be nice and clean. Now, first thing before we adjust the length of this line is we have to find that perfect attaching point on our glider. Now, what you want to do, you want to find center of your wing. Bam, right here. Now you want to go all the way down to the edge, to this brake line section, the very end of your wing. Now you want to go to the left from the center or to the right and find that first attaching point loop. Bam, right here. That's it. So you attach this loop right here, and that's it. Okay, so next step is adjusting length of that chase cam spongy line. As you can see right now, it's freaking far away, and that's way too long. So how we decide and how we know how long should be this line? Well, what I usually do, and what I've found that works the best for me, you know, all of my footage that you see on this channel is basically with this setup, using all these tips and tricks that I'm showing you in today's video. Alright, so what I'll do is grab this thing right here, make sure this brake line and your chase cam line, they're both straight down, there's no tangles, no knots or anything like that, and just grab them both in one hand and just follow that motion both together all the way down, just like that. Bam, 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 all the way down to your risers. As you can see right now, this is exactly the same length as my risers and all the lines from the glider, and that will usually mean that chase cam will be flying a little too low behind you in your rudder zone, so you will end up with a lot of shaky motion. So what I like to do is shorten that chase cam line for approximately 1 meter, so it's 1 meter shorter than your glider lines. So you have to go all the way up there and just make this shorter for about 1 meter. That's it. Again, depends on your glider, on your flying style, but usually if you are somewhere within that range, it should be fine. So again, grab all of these lines and just follow that all the way down, just like that. So now this attaching point from the chase cam is right here. Okay, so main rule I try to follow all the time, I want to make it shorter, so for 50 centimeters, 100 centimeters, that it don't go too far up, because if you set your chase cam too high, then the angle is just not gonna be right, you know. There's gonna be too much wing in the frame, you're gonna be too low in the frame, you know, just the framing won't be right. Of course, you'll have to try it on your own and do this final touch adjustments up and down until you find your sweet spot, but that's a great starting point. All right, so there's one thing when you're picking up your chase cam, you can have protective case mounting for your camera like this, where you simply put your camera in there, or you can go with universal mounting like this. So there's no protective case, nothing. Good thing about this one is that you can mount any camera you want up here, from classic action cameras to 360 cameras, it's up to you. Bad thing about this one is that there's no protection to your camera at all. So if you don't catch it on the landing, if you fail on the takeoff, if you hit something while doing proximity flying, your camera is right there, first thing to take the impact. So that's something to consider. And with this thing, your camera is protected. And I don't know if you can see, but this cage is very dirty. There's quite some scratches on it, and this cage actually saved my camera quite a few times. And to be honest, with this universal mounting, I already cracked one of my cameras, but why I'm using this universal mounting is for 360 cameras. You've probably seen this epic footage where there's big landscape in the frame, there's whole glider in the frame, everything is so nicely framed, and that's because of 360 cameras, which allow you to capture, to do that over capture thing. And yeah, so that's the reason why I use this universal mounting for 360 cameras. Alright, when you have your camera in your chase cam, this thing should be floating like this, straight, perfectly balanced. So yeah. Alright, so now we've covered the actual chase cam, but now there are also few things about your camera that will also help you get better footage with your chase cam specifically, and that's using camera that have great built-in stabilization. And to be honest, most of action cameras that are on market today, they all have this great built-in stabilization, so you should not worry about this too much. Just make sure you have this thing turned on. Next big thing is use horizon leveling if your camera have this option, because this horizon leveling thing will eliminate all these horizontal movements, you know, so one extra step to make your footage more stable. If you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments down below. It's always great to see your feedback, to chat with you. It's always so fun. So yeah, go drop some comments. Also, please drop a like, share it with your friends, and see you guys in the next one.